And so that's, you know, St. Francis of Assisi said, preach the gospel, sometimes use words. Because what we have to do is by our actions, preach that gospel. In the Old Testament, in one of the Psalms, it says, know ye not that ye are gods? Say to each and every one of us. Not that we're gods, but that we have that within us. That we have that within us. So again, those of us who are blessed with the opportunity to be public servants, and I was raised to believe that my family, my father was the mayor, as was mentioned, member of Congress when I was born, but mayor my whole childhood from when I was in first grade, and when I went away to college, he was still mayor, and then my brother was mayor. But they taught, we lived in a neighborhood, Little Italy in Baltimore, Maryland. People would come to the door for jobs, for food, to get a bed in the city hospital, an apartment in the projects, and we were taught that this was our we had a responsibility to each other, And so when you talk about a Jackie Spear and the path that she took to the Congress, and when she got there, through the legislature and the rest, and when she got there, to come there to get this job done, why are we here but to do the work of the people? Inspired by our great democracy and what we mean to our responsibility to each other, inspired by the Old and New Testament, the Quran, or any religious text that you follow, or non-religious text that you follow, that talks about the dignity and worth of every person. But just think now, coming back to this healthcare issue, what this means. It's not only just about health care, it's about a healthier America. It's about diet, not diabetes. It's about taking care of our children in a way that they will have access to care, not be put off until they have to go to an emergency room, but intervene into their particular health situation earlier. My parents, and I'm sure yours, have always said, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. We all salute each other, salute to your health, to your health, to your health, because it is essential to our strength, not only our individual strength, but the strength of our nation. So again, Jackie was there with issues that related to fairness, to women's issues, of course, but also constantly talking about infections in hospitals, the specifics of it, so that when we finally had a product, we knew what we had and we knew what we didn't have, but we knew what we were kicking the door open, so that change we can believe in is here, and change that we can build upon is here. So there's much more that needs to be done. We know that. But again, the inspiration that each and every one of you is to us, how people work hard to meet their family's needs, however they define the term family, whatever that means to them. Whatever that means to them. It took so long because the special interest resisted this. They resisted it because of one reason. They've made a ton of money over time exploiting the needs of the people. They just did. I'm sad to say that. But again, for the people, we had a great victory. It was, again, we all felt very blessed to play some role in this as your representatives, doing what you would want us to do. And I always believed it would happen. People would say, well, when did you think it was going to happen, and when did you know? And I said, I always knew. I always knew. Right, Jackie? We always knew it would pass. We always knew it would pass. It could be harder, or it could be easier. It could be sooner, or it could be later. But it was going to pass because it was the right thing to do for our country. The opposition was out there, and they still are, misrepresenting what this does. But what it does, in a very, very brilliant way, again, sowing the seeds and leading the way for more to be done, is to enable people to be who they want to be and not be pigeonholed or job locked because of health care. It enables we simply could not afford the status quo. The family budget, the federal budget couldn't afford it. The economy couldn't afford the stagnation that happens when its people cannot reach their fulfillment. And our businesses cannot compete internationally with this big strain of cost of health care on them that is now they are freed from. So if you want to be self-employed, if you want to start a business, if you want to change jobs, if you want your children to know that they will be taken care of and you can take risks and be entrepreneurial. And again, it's not just about job creation, it's about equity and ownership. This job is a big economic package, it's a big education package, it's a big healthcare package. And I appreciate the opportunity to come home here to say to you all, thank you for being the inspiration that you are. Thank you for the urging that you were for this for a very, very long time. Thank you for the delivery, Jan and Cecil, of services in terms of healthcare and beyond. But again, let us recognize that without the election and the presidency of the president, this would not have happened. Let me tell you what he said, and I'll close with this. He said to me that after the vote, I talked to him that night, but the next morning he called back and he said, I was happier last night when the bill passed the House than I was the night I was elected president. So like him to be happier about doing something for people than his own elevation to the presidency. But I said, well, Mr. President, I was very, very happy last night, but I wasn't happier than when you were elected president. Because when you were elected president, that made this victory possible for the American people. I want to acknowledge my husband, Paul Pelosi, who is here. I don't have my pool table yet. I said if he doesn't give it to me for my birthday, I'm going to give it to him for his birthday. But here's the thing. You hear these statistics. 40-some million people without insurance. Now under this bill, we'll take care of over 30 million people. You hear the numbers of people who have been excluded, the number of people who die each year because they don't have health insurance. The numbers are all staggering, and they impress us. But we think of them one person at a time. And what this legislation means to each individual person and family and community to make our country stronger. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be there to lead the way. Yes, we can.